What's going on, everybody? Mezariah here, and I'm back with another video. Today's video is more of a warning to a lot of us, and it's a it's a warning to keep you from falling, keep you from going backwards. And before we start this video, I want you guys to like, subscribe, comment on this video, share this video to anybody that you feel deemed that needs to get a understanding, to get understanding of spiritual things, to help them on their journey. Um, it's really interesting how God continuously um, puts into my mind what is important and what we need to pay attention to, and he'll sometimes reiterate certain things in your dreams. He'll allow you to see things in it's basically the same thing but just in a different form. And he continuously does this when he wants me to make sure that I don't fall into that same pattern, that same habit, or attaching myself to the wrong person or a familiar person or somebody from my past. And he wants to do that because he's showing you what can happen, what he's showing you the potential of what could take place if you don't listen. And if anybody doesn't know, disobedience causes you to fall in curses, especially when he's telling you to keep away from somebody, when he's telling you to stay away from certain people. And he shows us all the time, so many of us, he spreads his spirit out. He poured his spirit out to all of his children in these times because we're going to need these dreams and these visions to protect us from the things to come. We are humans with emotions, so if we don't have certain messages from God, we can easily fall into that realm of disobedience, in that realm of not having discernment or understanding what we are supposed to do in certain situations, because people will keep us from the path that we're supposed to be going on, walking on. And I'm here to tell you guys, if you guys go back, if you guys fall into that state of attachment with a person that you're not supposed to be attached to, and you know that you're not supposed to be in attachment to, you are going to open your door up to judgment, and it's going to open you up to a sea full of things. And the Father showed me something so literal, when when you are allowing the the enemy to use other people to get access to you in a way that will cause you to lose everything. Don't let someone that has this roach like spirit to come into your life and infest it, and then for them to walk away with everything that you have, and for them to just cause you to be in this roach like state that they are in. Roaches are a pest. They just come to torment. They come to disgust you, and they have a disgusting spirit, and they just want you to be out of a blessing like them. They want you to be miserable like them. They want you to be humbled. They want you to be humble. And it's so unfortunate because these are people that we know. These are family members. More so, these are family members. These are people that you could look to as family. And you don't want to invite someone in that has showed you time and time again what they are all about. You have to be obedient. You have to understand to not allow someone to come into your space to cause you any type of spiritual harm. We are in judgment. We are in a season of sealed judgment. We cannot allow the enemy to break that wall of protection from God's wrath to be poured on us. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do not fall into that trap. Do not let the fear of a man snare you into a trap. And a lot of people will try to come back and try to act like they didn't say the things that they said, do the things that they did, And it's not about unforgiveness. You want to forgive. You want to keep forgiveness in your heart. I already made a video saying that we should forgive with wisdom. We have to forgive with our brains, with the wisdom that God has given us. And you can't allow people to manipulate you. And here's the thing: a lot of people want us to come crawling back. They want us to come crawling back to them as if we depended on them to survive. And now that we are here at this point, they have they can't make any excuses. They can't say what they want to say. They can't use anything that they thought that they had up on us. So they can't say that we needed them to survive. They can't say that. And a lot of people want us to come back just so they can say that, just so they can use things against us, just so they can say, "Oh, I'm doing this for you, and the only reason you're on this level is because of me." That's how wicked and vile people are. They see that you've been without them for some time, and they just still can't believe that you're out without them, doing life without them. And they want to be able to say, "Look, I humbled you. Look, I did this. Look, I got you in this position. Look, I'm the reason that you're doing this, and I'm the reason that you're doing that." And the whole time, we never really needed them for anything. Because of our attachment to them, they deluded themselves to think that we needed them, not only realizing that we was protecting them, we was loving them. And now that you are completely tethered or untethered from them, you have untied yourselves, you have cut yourself from them. It's like you did the unthinkable in their eyes. And now they want you to just come crawling back, unbeknownst to you, of course, because they'll never admit they want you to come crawling back. They want you to come crawling back, but it's not going to happen because we are obedient, and we do not want to put ourselves into this realm of judgment. No matter, and this is no matter who they are. Do not let an authority figure in your life make you feel like you have to do something that God doesn't want you to do. And that's a problem with a lot of authority figures. They believe that they have authority in your life, that they have authority over God's word, God's law. No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. And you have to stand on business. You got to stand on business. You cannot allow the enemy to use people that is being used by. You can't do it, because the devil is banking on you falling into that trap. The devil is banking on you not understanding biblical principles. He's banking on you being manipulated by how he uh, teaches the Bible through wicked people. And it's an important verse right here in Isaiah 57:21. And it's a short verse, but I want to read it. I want to read it word from word. It's a really short verse, and this is really important to remember. Isaiah 57:21. There is no peace, saith my God, to the wicked. There is no peace, saith my God, to the wicked. There's no peace in them. They don't have peace unless they are tormenting you or trying to have control over you. There's no peace for the wicked. And they thought they were your peace. They thought they were keeping you from the things, the judgment of God, or being spiritually protected. They thought they were your covering. And lo and behold, they have deceived themselves, because what they really wanted was to feel their own ego and their own pride. And a lot of them have said things to us. They told us that our blessings come from Satan. They have told us that we are going to be dealt with by God. They think they are the people of light that have all of this light, and not realizing they have so much darkness in them. And God said we will know them by their fruits. In one breath they say, I know God, I'm a child of God, and I do this and I do that. But then they're disrespecting you, cussing you out, calling you out your name, blaspheming the Holy Spirit when you come to them with warnings, They are disrespectful in so many different ways, and they are just feeding their own selves their own destruction. And God showed me something really personal in one of my dreams a couple of nights ago. I don't know how long ago it was. I should have wrote this dream down, but I have so many dreams that they have become repetitive because these are just repeated lessons that I had to learn. And I I saw a family member and I was helping them, and I saw them disguised as a familiar spirit, and this familiar spirit was banking on me trying to, manipulate me because I was eating in this dream. And whoever doesn't know, when you are eating in your dream, that is a high level manipulation, high level witchcraft, and it is a high warning to you because God is telling you where your destiny is headed if you don't stay away from this person. So when you are eating amongst certain people in your dream, they are most likely causing that manipulation, but it's up to you to make the decision. And that's why God continuously warns us to keep away, to stay away from people, because we will get into this emotional state where we think about the memories, we think about all of these times we had with these people, and we deceive ourselves, and that's when the food comes in, and we are being fed the manipulation, the lies, and all of the different things. So when you see yourself eating in a dream, you're not really eating food. It could be food. It could be God warning you about something specific that is coming up. But a lot of the times, it's the spiritual aspect. It's the symbolic things that God is showing you. What you're eating. You're eating up lies. You're eating up manipulation. You're eating up a whole bunch of toxic poison, spiritual poison that will derail and delay your destiny. And these are people that we say we love that are causing us to fall into that path. And I want to share this really quick because this is such a confirming word, because in that dream where I saw that family member, I was helping them and they had medical problems, but they were still operating under this familiar spirit. Basically, they were going to be using these spiritual devices to make it seem like they have these medical problems to deceive me and to play on my heart. And I remember saying in this dream, I was basically walking with this person. And if anybody in Baltimore knows, whoever's watching this video, there's a train station called the Shot Tower train station. And when I woke up from that dream, I I remember before I woke up, I was in a dream and I was basically saying, I was telling that person, let's walk to Shot Tower. And then I woke up, and I remember piecing it together when I woke up, and I remember a dream that I had in January 8th, and I was at the top of a tower, and I was holding on for dear life, and then at the end of that dream, I fell. I let go and I fell. And I know for months and months and months at a time, this particular person was at the other end of this warfare that will cause me to fall from that tower. And the fact that I'm in the same dream and I said, let's go to Shot Tower. And when you are dreaming, everything is very, very specific and very intentional. God is no fool. He shows you things, and the things that you say, you have to pay close attention to. And when when I woke up from that dream, I thought about Shot Tower. And when you think about and put the words together, Shot Tower, your tower is shot. That means your tower is going to fall. And essentially that would be me falling from the dream that I had in January. See, God will make things so specific, and he will piece these things, and it will take him months before he gets you to a place of revelation of certain things, and he will piece it together as you go along, and he'll show you who is at the end of this warfare. And that's exactly what the enemy wanted me to do. He wanted me to fall for the trap. He wanted me to get my emotions played with. He wanted me to be fooled, to destroy my tower, to destroy me as a person, to destroy my destiny, to destroy everything that I've worked so hard for. And a lot of y'all have family members and friends that are willing to destroy everything that you worked so hard for. If only you knew how evil people really are in the spiritual realm when God is exposing these things. You have to pay attention to it. A lot of us are just walking around aimlessly, not realizing what is really happening. And that, therefore, because we don't see it with our spiritual eye, we don't think it's something serious. It goes beyond our imagination, what people are willing to do. And the other person on that other end may not even understand the depth of what they're doing. But because you have the potential to be disobedient, you can fall into that trap. A lot of people are just walking with evil spirits in them, not realizing, filled with their own pride and ego, not realizing that you are causing people their destinies. You are causing them to fall and lose everything that they have. And a lot of the times, it's the parents, it's the mothers, the fathers, the cousins, the family, that immediate family, the brothers, the sisters. It's always those close knitted people that we have to stay away from, because we are so attached to them as humans, because we grew up with them, we know them, their blood, you know what I mean? So it's like you have to be extra cautious when you are too familiar with anybody, you know. But this is a warning to you, because there is no peace for the wicked. And the meaning, there's no peace, meaning if there's no peace from the wicked, to the wicked, if there's no peace to the wicked, then these people are willing to disrupt your peace. They're willing to disrupt your life and ruin everything, because they want to figure out, they want to know how you do it, they want to know what God you serve, what God you worship, even though they tell themselves every day that they believe in God, the God of the Bible, Jesus Christ. And it's sad, man. It's sad. But God showed me that judgment would come. He showed me that judgment would come if you go back to these people. This is beyond a lot of us, but we are in a time with America being judged, right? America is in a bowl of judgment. He showed me that if you go back to certain people and you know you've been having dreams about them, you've been having warnings about them, you've been staying away from them, and God is still warning you about them, you will find yourself in that bowl of judgment that America is in, and it is coming to America, and a lot of things are being revealed to us. A lot of things are coming to us. A lot of us can fall into the judgment of poverty, being amongst these aliens, being amongst these demonic entities that are coming onto this earth, being subjected to a high level of witchcraft, being subjected to a Mount's judgment. God showed me big boulders coming down trying to smash me. And I'm a strong person. I'm a very strong spiritual person. But God can always allow something to be able to hurt you. God knows us better than anybody. So the things that He showed me, those big boulders, was something that I couldn't withstand. I couldn't handle. And almost, I'm not trying to put myself on this pedestal, but a lot of things do not shake me up, because I've trained myself. I've done, the tests. I've passed a lot of tests. I've gone through with warfare, and even then, I still see big boulders coming on me because of what happened in the spiritual realm by me disobeying and going back to certain people. And He showed me in the midst of these squid looking creatures and going in this never ending loop through these different rooms, trying to figure out my way out of this maze that I put myself in due to my disobedience. And this is a warning to y'all because a lot of people, first of all, don't even understand things like that. The spiritual things like aliens coming to this earth, new entities coming to this earth to introduce themselves, and they want to take over the land, and they want to do this, and they want to be amongst the humans, and they want to live and be amongst us. And I'm quite sure a lot of them are amongst us, but we're talking about in a massive state where they have their human mass lifted, and you can see them looking like actual creatures that were not created by God, and you are amongst them, and you are eating from the same places they're eating, walking in the same street as them, and that's that's not something that you want to have to deal with. That type of judgment is coming to America, and that's another story in its own. I already made a video on about UFOs and stuff like that, but the simple disobedience when it comes to being in the midst in the space of certain people you're not supposed to be in will open up doors for you to fall into that ball of judgment, that ball of wrath, and you don't want to be a part of that. And guys, you have to get on top of it. You have to have a prayer life. You have to have a fasting life. You have to ask God for prophetic instruction, for dreams, for visions, because He said He will pour His Spirit out on His children during these times. And a lot of us are having dreams, a lot of us are having visions, but a lot of people still don't believe in stuff like that. They don't have the faith of a child. These are things that are still fantastical to people, or mystical to people. These are not mystical things to us anymore. A lot of us have been training in the spiritual realm for years now. We have been dealing with spiritual matters, and what y'all are waiting for, a lot of people are waiting for. They are waiting for things to actually be seen with their physical eyes. When we had the rules, we had the laws, we had the spiritual laws to deal with certain things, to open ourselves up to Christ and open ourselves up to spiritual things. And now it's like a lot of people are just sitting on the edge of their seat waiting for something to happen just so they can be in the midst of that judgment, and then they'll be like, oh, I see now, I get it. And then for a lot of the people, will be too late. For a lot of people at that time, they won't be able to process stuff like that, and then they'll still be ignorant, they'll still be gaslighting, acting like these things weren't coming about, and these things that God has warned us about. He told us to prepare for, and we were sitting back looking crazy and not doing the work. So you have to be obedient especially when it comes to God protecting you from certain people. I always say this, that other people are always on the other side of that warfare that you are going through. I'm not saying you can't be amongst certain people. You have to be amongst your brothers and sisters of Christ. Yes. But even them, they they have the potential to be filled with demons and spirits and all of these different things. So it's always important to keep boundaries between people so you won't fall into that stronghold. Because everybody is liable to have a demon in them, or to move funny or act weird, you know. And then Christ rebuked the demon out of Peter while he was following behind Christ. He had entered Peter and caused him. It caused Peter to tell Christ something, or to have some type of doubt or something. I can't remember the actual story, but um, my point is, you have to be mindful. You have to be vigilant of everybody that tries to come into your life. Anybody that tries to open themselves up to you, or if you're opening yourself up to them, you have to be mindful. And that's all, guys. I want to hope and pray that you please understand what I'm saying, understand everything that I say, because it's getting real out here. Things are taking a turn. We are in the midst of judgment. You don't want to be lumped up in judgment while you are in sin, especially sexual sin. That's another story, but all sins open you up to spiritual attacks. God will allow these things because it's up to you for you to do the work to close those doors through prayer, through relationship with Christ, through repentance, and through obedience. So please, please go to God about all your problems and ask who are these people in your life, or who are these people that want to have access to you, and if you should give them access or not. And this is a warning to not give anybody just access to your life, especially the people that you have been warned about personally. And I'm out, guys. That's it. That's all. I'll be back with another video.